Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to mattsteinway.com. Today I've got Cristian Orrego here. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for popping in.
Pleasure.
The reason I wanted to catch up with you is Complete Data. So it's doing some great things, I hear.
It is, yes, it is. It's, I suppose it's been out in the marketplace for over, 10 years, 12 years now. But there's some exciting, I think we're probably more excited about where it's going. That's the exciting part.
So, look, I've used Complete Data I think we were one of the first people. We were the guinea pigs in some way, shape or form. But can you tell us about it? I get a lot of agents ask me which database, and I've used many over the years, and I think Complete Data stands way above all of them. So why would someone buy Complete Data?
Well, look, there's many reasons. I suppose the key part being, as you said, there's many choices out there for everybody, and a lot of the people that hear about our system is word of mouth. So that they're connected to the industry, and they want to have a solution to either capture information or, I suppose, professionally communicate with their clients and build their business.
Yeah, so you can store on there. Yeah. What else can you do on it?
Well, you can store, you can bulk communicate, you can, I suppose, generate a professional prospecting program as well. So what that means, in industry terms, it's connecting to your farm area or service area that many people understand there.
So when you say that, if you've got, say, Wombrel, you can put all of the data of Wombrel in there, and then you can create some structure around servicing it. Would that be right?
Spot on. Because a lot of people are just focused, and many databases are just focused on people. So storing information on people. But Complete Data does that, but also it's connected to their core business area. So it gives them a focus on, or if there's not many inquiries for properties through the ads or open homes, and it gives them the ability to really focus on becoming, I suppose, famous in their area to build a business.
Which I think is it's what I sort of built my career on, and it creates a strong foundation, doesn't it? You mentioned bulk messaging. So what happens there?
Well, look, bulk we sort of call it bulk communication because there's so multiple methods of communicating. Obviously, the one that everyone knows about is the email, which is a common one. But also SMS has become a lot more common, especially over the last 5 years. But also with the letter side of things, I think a lot of people have gone off the letters, but it's still such an important part to have people's addresses to communicate with, whether it be letters or brochures or some type of communication, magazines or anything that the company might have.
I agree. So you can merge like a whole suburb or a couple of streets or whatever?
Correct.
Trails. People ask me about trails and what are they and how do you set them. So with Complete Data, tell us about a trail.
Well, basically trails, for the industry word, they're action plans. Allows the people that are using the system to, I suppose, set these action plans against clients as well as property. So if you've got a listing, there's certain actions that you've got to do. So that way the agent doesn't have to remember, have I forgotten something, or remember the client to do any callback or any type of communication to them as well. So they're set up and can be modified to suit the agent. So because sometimes you get different people that want to communicate in different ways. So whether it be for the property as well as the clients that they're meeting.
So you list a property, you can set a trail, say vendor management service trail.
Correct.
And that's how you sort of sell a house, that's how you handle it. But if you list Peter's property over here and he has different needs, could you have different trails, or can you do one manually, for instance, set it up separately?
You can, and that's, I think the common way is that let's look at the agency's best practice method of communication for a vendor once they've listed a property, and then usually that's pretty much set in concrete. Then it goes from then on to the actual client, whether it's a vendor action plan or if it's a buyer action plan that's going to be a little bit different to let's say your typical buyers that are already cashed up, ready to purchase now,
Yeah.
that might be a different level of communication compared to, let's say, someone thinking about doing something in the next 6 to 18 months.
Definitely.
Yeah.
With the trails, do you guys supply them, or is there a template, or do you help them? Like, what do you do if people don't understand how to
Pretty much a lot of that is in the training, because there's a lot of different aspects. I suppose that there are multiple reasons that people need a system. It could be for trials, for not forgetting anybody. It could be to develop that service area as well. But a lot of these things, they're covered in the training. But these trials are really specific to the agent.
Right.
So let's say I deem to think that communicating with a client once every week is the way that I want to do it. Someone else might say, no, that's not frequent enough. I want to do it every 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a phone call, and that's why we've got multiple methods of communication, whether it be the email, the SMS, the letters, and so forth as well.
So with the SMSs, say, do you have templates in there already set in there, so people don't have to think of them if they don't want to?
A lot of yours.
Yeah, a lot of mine. Half of them are probably mine, but that's all right. But so they're all in there. So when someone buys a complete data, is it sort of ready to go? They just need to put
pretty much
info
in. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only thing that they have to import is obviously if they've already got an established client list. Getting that information onto an Excel spreadsheet, which we can provide everybody, is probably the important part that they need to do. And then importing and exporting through complete data is quite easy.
Right.
There's no restrictions there. We don't sort of believe in holding anyone for ransom with the data and so forth. But pretty much there's some examples of trails, there's examples of templates, but definitely there's the ability to modify, create new ones as well from what's already there, just to make it their own. As you know, there's a lot of information available to implement and create your own style as well.
Definitely. Before I ask you about, one more thing I want to ask you about is reporting.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Complete Data has some really cool reports for owners and people like that and whatever. Mm-hmm. Is that what it does?
Look, it does. It does. There are already some templated reports which are based on the vendor reporting. So it gives them we call it the marketplace report. It gives them a quick snapshot on one page on the level of inquiries, the feedback, how many inspections, the price recommendation of the agent as well. So some key information that the owner needs to know with regards to what the activity's been happening on their property.
Like a progress report.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. And then you can go into detailed reports of defining exactly those. Let's say we had 7 inspections. So what are those 7 inspections? What's the feedback? What's the interest? So you can really go into that detail. And then also the ability to really modify the system to pretty much extract any report that the business needs, as well as what you want to show to your clients as well.
That's what I was going to ask you. Can you modify those reports to make them yours?
You can, yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's why there's 2 versions of Complete Data. There's a Complete Data Plus, which is an individual version. That's pretty much just set, can't be modified, but then we've got the option of the Complete Data Professional, and that can be really tweaked and modified to,
That's what I was going to ask you after the next question, but while we're on it, so the Complete Data Plus, did you say?
Correct.
Is that the one you buy, and it's, when you say that, is that for a salesperson or an office or everything?
Normally we'd like to, depending on the needs and the requirements of the individuals making that inquiry, we always promote to get started on the Complete Data Plus. Basically that's just a link that gets requested by us, to us, and then we shoot it over to them. They can download it, save it on their desktop. They can actually play around.
They're up and running.
And they can actually play around with it straight away. They get about 10 launches to put in their data to see if they're going to connect to the logic. I think that's the big part. As we said before, there's lots of systems out there. A lot of them are built by computer people. And this is the great thing about Complete Data and why it's so popular, because it really connects to the needs of the agent. So once they've done that, they can put their people in there, test it, and if they like it, they buy it.
Is that how much does that cost?
$14.95,
right?
And it also comes with 9 months of training and technical support as well.
Fantastic.
So that way, everything's covered in that $14.95 for them. And then down the track, usually there's some questions, some requirements that really they want to sort of up the ante a little bit, whether it's add more users or centralise the system or modify reports or certain things like that, and that's when the upgrade of the Complete Data Professional comes into play.
Right. One of the things I've noticed about Complete Data myself is the support is amazing. So not only are you buying a database, you're almost buying a partner in your sales process, aren't you really? Like this, I've noticed that if there's an issue with it, you guys are straight onto it, change it, fix it, whatever you need to do. Is that still the case?
Look, it is, and it's probably been a bit of a thorn in our side in the past because we, in a sense, it's grown a little bit too big, and then being up the Central Coast, it was hard to get those technical people.
Yeah.
So what we've done is aligned ourselves with some engineers in Sydney. So all our support team at the moment is in Sydney, so we've got dedicated people to provide that extra level of feedback and really get back to the agents at a quicker time pace as well.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
So if there's an issue with something, do they ring you or do they ring someone else, or what happens?
Basically, they can just call the Real Estate Academy. We're available on 1300 367 412.
Yeah.
My name's Cristian. There's also Marie in the sales team as well. We both can assist you with it.
Yeah.
And probably look at what exactly you're trying to achieve from the initial inquiry, and then we'll be able to guide you in the right direction.
That's if someone's thinking of it, but if they buy it and then they have an issue, do they still ring you and say, "Hey Cristian, I don't know how to work this part of it," and is there that part of...
Correct, yeah. There's two parts of it. Technical support is like, I've got an issue, it's not working, and so forth. If it's a challenge about how to, more the logic of this is what I'm trying to achieve, then give us a call. The number's exactly the same. You call the 1300 367 412, and you just either press 1 for support or 2 for sales.
Fantastic. Well, you've sort of done the next bit as well anyway. Where do they find you, I was going to say. Look, if you are thinking of purchasing a database, I can only speak from experience and the relationship I've had with these guys for a long time in terms of their development and database skills. It's been excellent. I would invest my money in Complete Data, and I don't endorse many things, but I'm going to endorse Complete Data today, that's for sure, because it is very, very good. It's money well spent. Alright everyone, hope you enjoyed today, and thanks Cristian for popping in and seeing me. And if you do have any questions for Cristian prior to you exploring whether you want to go down this path or not, you can either post them underneath. What's your email, mate?
It's Cristian.o, spelled Cristian.o @realestateacademy.com.au.
Excellent. If there's any direct Complete Data questions you want to ask Cristian, maybe just email him. If you have other questions, maybe for me and Cristian, you want to bounce some things around, just put them on the post underneath and we'll take care of them. Alright everyone, have a good day. See you on the next video.